Hey everybody, today we're working on a high block. A high block is designed to protect your head and your upper body from damage. It's a pretty simple block, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. Two things that you need to remember. Always block with big bones. Second, every block is also a strike, and you should treat it that way. So here's the basic mechanics for our high block. When we do a high block, we're going to think about having a roof over our head. Now, roofs are generally not flat. They've generally got a little bit of a slope to them. Even those roofs that you see on big high-rise buildings that seem flat have a little bit of a slope so that the rain can run off. Okay, so when I create a roof over my head, I make a triangle. Most of the time we don't use both hands at once, okay, for this high block. Most of the time we're just using one. Now you notice that if I just have one hand up and my hand is centered in front of my body, I'm not really blocking this side of my body. Sometimes that's great. Most of the time it's not if something's coming at my head. So what I want to do is bring this across my body. Now I have to be careful because if I turn it down flat, then something can still come over the top and hit me in the head. So instead I want to keep it at an angle. That way when something does hit, it's going to roll off to the side. That's exactly what I want. I want to distribute that force across this angle. Now you notice that you guys can see the inside of my hand. So if I open my hand, you can see my palm. That means that the pinky side of my hand is up. The thumb side is down, okay? So I'm giving a thumbs down to the bad guy while keeping my elbow down and my hand up high. What that does is that allows the long bone in my arm to absorb the force, and it allows the force to travel down through my shoulder and into my core and distributes a lot of the force better than if I were to turn my hand palm up or palm down. If I turn it palm down, boom, it folds. If I turn it palm up, then I'm getting hit on all this squishy muscle here, and that hurts. So instead I want pinky up. Now, we don't want to just lift this up. In fact, I see a lot of people who go whoop and bring it up from the outside. That's actually really dangerous because if you're trying to block something that's coming from this angle and you bring your arm around, you're actually pulling it into your own head. Not good, okay? So instead, we want to strike upward with it. Notice that I said strike because every block is also a strike. So this is going to come up and turn out. Okay? Let me show that to you again from the side. If I'm in a fighting stance here, I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to bring it up. I'm pushing that side of my hand up and out. I'm making a nice strong frame here. Notice that I'm not leaning forward with it to try to reach out and get something. I'm not leaning back with it because then that puts my spine offline. I want to keep my body in line and I'm going to push up. One more time with the other hand. Boom. So you can see that the elbow is in line properly with the shoulder and with the hand. All right, guys, that is your high block. I hope that was helpful. Here's a couple of great ways to practice it. Simply stand in your horse stance and bring the hand up in front of you and pop the elbow out. Alternating sides. Boom, boom, boom. You can also practice walking forward with this. Step, block, step, block. Okay? Those are great ways to practice it with a little bit of motion, making sure that your body is in great alignment. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Practice that at home.